Hey guys, have you ever had a blowout in one of the far corners of your strut bladder? This is a strut bladder of mine out of my 9 metre, and I was at the beach one day this year actually, and as you can see the end of the strut bladder blew out. What you can see there is an ironed part of the strut bladder, which should have really worked, but unfortunately the wife's new iron doesn't get hot enough to seal it. The edge of your strut bladder, as you can see here, sorry, not much good focusing, sorry about that, is heat sealed. So all the edge of your strut bladder, or any of your bladders, is all heat sealed. All this white part is heat sealed. If you've never taken one out, then have a look at it anyway, but that there is all heat sealed. Because my wife's new iron wouldn't get hot enough, I knew that you can get bag sealers, which this is. This is just an ordinary bag sealer. It's £5 actually from Sainsbury's, and these points here and here is effectively just a smaller version what they use on an industrial scale to actually seal these bladders, and you can find these on the internet anywhere. So effectively all you do here is crimp the two together. Obviously there's a guardrail to stop it hitting, but once the two edges crimp together, the bottom one, this one here, gets really hot. There is a caution sign on here, so just to test how hot it actually got before I stuck it on the bladder, I read the instructions, and as you can see, possibly, it says, "Caution, wire can get hot." So I stuck my thumb on it just to see how hot it would get when I pressed it, and I burnt my thumb, so it does get quite hot. So what you do with these is you just have a couple of AA batteries inside here, so there's not a great deal of power here, but the beauty about this thing is if you're out with your buddies locally, or you go on holiday and you want a quick fix to a blowout, there's many blowouts you can fix with these. I'm going to do it on a big leading edge shortly as well, just to make sure how well it goes. But basically that was £5 from Sainsbury's, and they're labelled as bag sealers. So all I did in this instance is crimped along. Can you see? You can see the edge there. This line here is where I crimped it. Okay, so the blowout was in the end part of the bladder here, possibly the size of a 10p stroke 50p piece. But what I've done is I've used the bag sealer to crimp a line all the way across. Okay, just in mini steps, a bit difficult with one hand, but basically I just put it inside the crimper. So we can do it for you with one hand, and just went along pressing down for a few seconds all the way across, so from one end to the other. You do lose a bit of your strut bladder, but to be fair, if you've ever seen one of these outside of your kite and blown it up, we all know that these expand massively, so you've lost a small portion of that there, but to be fair, when you put that inside your kite and blow it up to its full strength, that will fill the gap anyway, so to be fair, I wouldn't worry about that. The other thing as well is, because these things fit the sock of your strut, I know this is out of a Best kite and it's an old Best kite, but I've put various ones in various kites, and to be fair, it all does the same job. But I'll blow it up just so you can see that it actually works. So give me 1 second. There we are, perfect seal. It's cost you £5 to fix that. and if you're creative enough, there'll be various ways you can fix bigger holes and probably the entire side of your strut bladder. But one thing I would probably do, if you take one of these out, generally when you're at the beach, a lot of sand can get in the ends of these. So what I do with quite a few of mine when I take them out is, I'm not sure if this is a recommendation or not, but pour water inside there and actually flush the whole thing out, because there's nothing worse than turning up at the beach and getting a slow puncher in any of your bladders, and it'll piss you off because you have to come back in and pump it up. So if you do take one out and you've got the time, you can be bothered, stick water in there slowly and wash the whole thing out. Bring it to a point at the end here and just tip all the sand out, and then you know you won't have to worry too much about all that collective sand in there. But if you look at the ends of most of these, they'll have a shed load of sand in the end of them, so wash it out before you put it back. I've actually washed out my entire leading edge on a kite that I bought second hand, and it was worth it because it was full of sand. So there you go, £5 crimper, does get hot. Would you use tear aid on that? No, because that was less than 5 minutes to fix that. Now it's done, it can go back in. Cheers guys.